That was good.
Fun. Warriors are Kings. Zaza will join us in moments here on the roast. Oh man. Hold on. All right. That was a nutritionist hit me up.
What'd she say? Are you on Sketchy?
How's it going? How are you feeling?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that time between 2:30 and 6 o'clock for dinner is a rough one, nutritionist. Your boy drinking a lot of water.
Are you a late night snacker?
Yeah, that's been tough to cut out.
I know, me too. Like last night,
I love late night
sad
snacks.
after I watched obviously the playing games, and then I'm watching the end of the Giants game, sadly, and I say to myself, I think it's time for an ice cream sandwich.
Yeah.
And I went and had a little tiny squared ice cream sandwich, and I sat in the kitchen alone with just me and the dog. She thought I was going to give her some, and it was a sad existence for your boy. And then I watched the end of Snowfall.
Oh my gosh. Only one second left.
Hey, the way they ended
one
that-
episode left. One episode left of Snowfall. No. Don't tell you the
I'm not
way
gonna
they
tease
ended
it.
that.
I'm just saying.
Don't even do
the way
anything.
it ended was great.
Snowfall. I may shed a tear next week. Considering where that series started and where it's at, everybody's getting clapped.
Well, I feel like Franklin's saying because look what you did to me.
Right.
Me working with you, look what I've now become. I'm a character of myself.
Unbelievable. Let's go to Johnny. He's got a good Tamir. Apparently Tamir in Oakland with a little text, little tweet saying apparently, hold on, I'm going to read this here before we get to Johnny in San Jose. Bruh, you can't yell with players on sidelines anymore. Refs quick to call texts or warnings. Really? Damn. That stinks. Johnny, San Jose. Got a good story?
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing?
I'm
Good.
doing great.
Yeah, great story from back in my high school days. Santa Teresa High School in the back in the 90s.
Uh-huh.
The old Mount Hamilton Athletic League. So we're playing a lot on the south side and the east side of San Jose schools.
Okay.
And we used to have this umpire. He'd be behind the dish, and this guy would be having the best time of his life. He'd be back there. He'd call a ball and strike like, oh, yeah, that was a nice one.
No, he did not.
And
it was like Macho Man?
He was like, it was more like a James Brown kind of doing a dance and getting into it like that.
Now that's
And
my
then
kind of guy.
when he would ring you up, he would literally tell you, he would step to the side, point to the side, say, oh, yeah, you had enough, strike three.
I love that. I love that.
That is good. That is good stuff right there. Good stuff.
If you ever played ball in San Francisco, baseball or basketball, there's the most legendary official of all time. Do you know about Old Ben, a.k.a. Benny Legier?
I don't know about Ben Legier.
I'm shocked that no one on that's shocked now that I think about it. But he is one of the most legendary characters in CYO history. Okay, Old Ben Legier. God bless his soul. He would look at you guys in the layup line and he'd be like, "Oh, you're the better team. I'm reffing this one. I'm cooking the books. We're keeping it close." He always found a way to keep it close. So my boy Will Grove would be on the mound. He'd be throwing gas, and he'd go, "Hey, Will, your strike zone's about this big today." He would literally tell him that. Like, I expect you to be pinpoint accurate. Kid who can't even come set, and he's balking left and right. Strike zone's as big as a wall. Old Ben was one of the most classic crooked refs of all time. Yeah. God bless his soul. He's in heaven somewhere right now.
Well,
if you had Old
like,
Ben Legier, you knew he was a legend.
It sounds like he shouldn't be in heaven with the way he called a game. It sounds like he should be go straight to hell.
No.
With that strike zone.
Blind Benny was the band.
Dude, how are you going to do that to kids saying you better be pinpoint accurate? You got to tell some 12-year-old.
He understood the essence of youth sports, and he tried to balance it out a little.
Benny's a legend. But you know what?
Ben is a legend.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Benny Legier.
When you're fixing games like that, you're not a legend.
Games.
I don't care if it's CYO, AAU, YMCA. I don't care. What? Benny?
Old Ben. If you had Old Ben reffing a game, call in. I'm telling you, he had the goggles. He would wear the towel around the neck while standing at half court. Old Ben was a legend. He never had a car.
Old Ben sounds like a horrible referee.
He took the bus everywhere. I believe he was an engineer. He is one of the great characters in San Francisco history.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know him. I never heard of him. But you know what? Him doctoring the strike zone.
Well, he would teach you. He would teach you the game.
It sounds like he can go straight to hell.
Doctoring the
messing with the kids. What the hell is he doing? What?
See, look, people are texting in like crazy. Thickest glasses ever. I'm telling you, old Ben was a legend. Literal first ballot CYO Hall of Famer.
All right. What about Stephen Curry? Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Yeah. Although, knowing how like these voting things go, I'm sure that he won't be unanimous. I don't even know if there is a unanimous ballot.
Who knows? But here's what Curry said about the importance of winning game number 1 at his first-round series against Sacramento.
It's always helpful, especially when you're the lower seed, start on the road to make your presence felt. Everybody says that try to steal game 1 type vibe. Like we just want to give ourselves a good opportunity to get off to a good start in that game. You know, first quarter, first 12 minutes is so important to establish yourself. We obviously have to win 1 up there to win the series. So we'd like it to be game 1, and you want to just have another level of focus and intention about everything that we're doing on both ends of the floor. To give ourselves the best shot to do that. So we know it's going to be tough. They've been a great team all year. They've had a great season. Mike B knows us well. We know him well. So the adjustments and all that stuff will be interesting throughout the series. But I want to get off to a good start.
So he wants to get off to a good start and winning game 1 of the series, which the Warriors have done a lot. Last year at Memphis, they win game number 1. Now I know they blew game 1 of the finals against Boston, but game 1 against Dallas in the Western Conference Finals. Even against Houston back in 2019, or excuse me, 2018, when they played them in the Western Conference Finals, and Houston had home court after they won 65 regular season games. Warriors go down there at game 1, they win it in Houston. Game 7, they win it in Houston. They know how to set a tone and win games on the road.
Who, of all the opponents they faced over the years, who do you think has done the best job, either individually or collectively, against Steph Curry?
I would say the Cleveland teams.
I think so, too.
Yeah, the Cleveland teams.
Tristan Thompson was actually underrated on the switch. Right. And he'd go out there.
Your newest member of the L.A. Lakers.
Well, yeah. My wife thinks he's like an NBA star because of all the Kardashian stuff.
Well, he's not with her no more, right?
No,
he cheated on her again.
But name recognition. I mean, she knows exactly who he is. Obviously.
Yeah, Anna hates him.
What's that?
She hates him.
Well, he's a cheater.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not loyal at all, and he's very mean, apparently. And so, yeah. Anyway, point not be outside. You think that they did not Marcus Smart last year?
We got Zaza. All right, let's get Papa Shasky on real quick. Papa Shasky's on the hotline. By the way, 510 Ben started kids being all soft. Oh, Ray McGruder got up early? Damn. Must be a big weekend. I thought Cole Lawrence is coming in.
The double R's?
Wow. Double R, put a hoodie on, shaved the head. Papa Shasky, what you got? We got Ray McGruder and Zaza. So you want to call us back, Papa Shasky?
No, I'm just gonna get chime in. Morning, fellas. Hey, look, I gotta correct Joe. Benny Legier was one of the all-time great CIO referees, and while he taught the game to the kids as the game was being played. Joe exaggerated a little bit about some of his strike calls, but what he did is he saw the kids, if they're double dribbling or something, he would stop them and tell them you can't do that. He would teach the game as he refereed the game. He was one of the greatest umpires in CIO history, hands down, by far the best guy. He was a great guy for everybody out there. He was an even guy. He was fair. He was fair to the good teams. He was fair to the bad teams.
Exactly.
He was unrecognizably the best CIO coach or referee we ever had in this league in this city.
All right, too much love for referees, Papa Shasky. We got NBA playoffs
Ben's
coming
a
up.
legend.
Way
Rest
too
in
much
peace,
love for referees.
Ben.
You don't give referees that much love. Come on. Zaza, what do you think about – turn the mic on, Zaza. Somebody help Zaza get the mic on here. Hey, love, man. Where you at, man? What's going on around here? All right. Jeez. We got Zaza Pachulia in the building, NBA champion. Got to help him get his microphone on. And we got Papa Shasky talking about, he's a classic referee. Referees get no love, Zaza.
This is youth level. CYO legend, old Ben Legier.
I love the fact that every time during the game, you see the referees is back and forth, and after the game, you leave, and there's always something, man. There's always something. I mean, I don't know if what is there any perfect referee?
No. Well, they were talking about this CYO ref, old Ben, and he would doctor games as a little league referee, as an umpire. I'm going to make it fair for the bad teams and make it good. You can't do that. Just ump the game.
By the way, you know what I'm talking about?
Huh?
the Bonte in his pajamas. Like, what are we doing, Bonte?
Oh, well, I got the Adidas hoodie. This is what happens when you
I'm not used to seeing you in the PJs, my man.
This is what happens when you work at night.
Zaza,
Get 3 hours of sleep.
Get him.
But listen,
Get him.
Zaza, it's 78
I'm
degrees in
walking
here.
in the room, and I see Bonte in his pajamas.
Zaza, it's
Wow.
78 degrees, and it's 6 in the morning. You want me to wear khakis and a Docker's button up? What are you talking
I
about
got
here?
some Warriors gear for you.
Oh, you got some Warriors gear for us?
wow.
Oh, wow. You know Shasky loves it. Look, Shasky wore his
That's
Klay
ready.
Thompson jersey.
Zaza,
today.
Zaza,
You know he hates Klay Thompson, right? He's wearing his jersey
I got
today.
time out.
I'm
I do
kidding, I'm
not.
kidding.
Number 2, I bought this at the team store a couple years ago.
Did you get a discount?
No, I didn't get a discount. But watch this. Watch this.
You see what that says?
Yeah.
It's spelt wrong. It's spelt wrong. What are the chances of
It
that?
deserves it for all
That's
the Klay
unique.
slander.
Isn't it?
That's one of a kind.
Exactly.
There you go.
That's what
Exactly.
matters.
Let's
There you
get into this playoffs thing.
By the way, hello to Raymond Ritter. Hello
Yeah.
to Frank Thomas's biggest fan, James Kincaid.
Oh,
Well, we got
very
Kincaid and Raymond Ritter today. This is serious business.
Yeah, it is. Mike Brown. You know Mike Brown very well. Well, how would you assess what he's done with the Kings this year?
Amazing job. I mean, definitely coach of the year. Give him an award. You know, I'm so happy for him, first of all, until now.
Yeah.
Until now, for regular season. And happy for the organization and the players because they really got a good mentor, a good coach. And me as a former player, you know, especially having a young team like they do, and, you know, it matters. You know, it matters to be coached and to be mentored, and to learn from the best and to have a good mentor because that's it's going to carry on the rest of your career and rest of your life. And it's something I take huge pride, you know, that I had amazing mentors, right? So, and, you know, here they are in top 3, top 4, and, you know, they're facing, you know, probably one of the best teams. And, of course, here we are. We're going to try to, you know, win and, you know, go to the next round. But same time, you know, you're facing a team that is, you know, the head coach and not only head coach, but assistant coaches too. They're familiar with you know, with your assistant, with the players, with the personnel, with our coaching staff, our style of the play. Very familiar, probably more familiar than any other coaches, you know. So it's going to be an interesting series, in my opinion.
Zaza Pachulia, 2-time NBA champ, of course, with the Golden State Warriors, now an ambassador with the Golden State Warriors, does a lot of stuff in the community. We always see him at Chase Center. Zaza, when you think about this, and you brought up Mike Brown and all the personnel that was with the Golden State Warriors and the Warriors knowing Mike Brown, how much of a factor is that? Because we think about, oh, okay, Mike Brown knows the weaknesses of the Golden State Warriors. He knows their defensive principles. Is that a big factor in the series, or do players just play and over time the best team's just going to win out?
Absolutely. You know, here we are in the playoffs, right? So now it's all about details, small details, and making adjustments, you know, from game to game, you know. So, of course, all these small things are it's going to matter, and it's going to be a factor. And, you know, even Steph was joking like he might see boxing one on him, right? So, and, you know, especially we're talking about not 1 or 2 years, you know, multiple years that he's been, you know, assistant coach. He coached the team, you know, when Steve was absent, if you guys remember. So he knows everything about our team, but at the same time, you can come out with any plan if you want to, but if we're going to show up there and, you know, be our best versions of ourselves and really going to deliver both ends on the floor, it's so hard, like, to beat the talent and to stop everything because we have so much power and strength, and we can attack from so many the ways. Bottom line is players have to execute.
Yep.
You can come out with the best plan you want to, but it's so hard to keep up with the Warriors' speed, and, you know, we play so fast, and, you know, so we can attack you from some different ways, from the starters to the bench, and you know, we have amazing players, you know, all around. So it's going to be tough for them to, especially when you're talking about 7-game series. Like, you know, it's not a 1 game, it's not, right? So it's a 7-game series. So you gotta stay disciplined, and you know, something that probably the team has not seen. You know, when it comes to the speed and when it comes to the execution, when it comes to us being able to shoot from anywhere, or, you know, attacking and going to the back doors and, you know, dribble handoffs or offensive rebounds, right? So they have to, so many things they had to execute to beat us. And not only the Kings in this situation, but any team. You know, that's why I like our chances. Yeah, 6 seed. I mean, we wish we had a, you know, home court advantage, but bottom line, it's about going out there and executing and playing our game that's put us in an advantage.
Before we get to De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, I mean, you know big men. You've guarded all of the best in the league. This guy's so skilled. He's so awesome. He does so many little things that help that team win. He gets his shoulder into you, and he just, is fantastic around the rim. How do you slow him down?
Good question. How you slow him down? This is a team effort. We had game plans even when I was playing. Like, one guy cannot beat you, right? So one guy can score 30 points, but make sure that the others don't get in, right? So I don't know what the game plan is now, but I gotta tell you, there's a reason why we play so many finals and we won so many championships in the last decade, right? Because we have a great coach, and we always come out with a way to win, and I have no doubt it's going to be same approach, same mentality. But you're right. I mean, Sabonis is an amazing player. It's always fun to watch him, right? And because he can give you so many different ways, can impact the game. He is a great passer, and I always appreciate, as a big man, I appreciate big men who can make the plays for others. So. He's loaded. He's strong, but like I say, it's a team game. I don't believe one person can win the series.
Well, also, I think a lot of people are underrating Kevon Looney, who we all want. Raymond Ritter knows this, most improved player in the NBA, but he's not on the top 5 when it comes to the odds in Vegas. But 35 games with 10+ rebounds. He led the league in offensive rebounding, and the plus-minus department in the 3 games against Sabonis. Looney was plus 21, 22. Sabonis was a minus 35, so Looney, in his experience of guarding Embiid down the stretch, Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, Naz Reid, I mean, he's had to bang with some bigs, Valanciunas. I think Looney, a lot of people are underrating how good he is defensively.
He's good, but you know what I love about Looney this year? His experience. I mean, he's seen it all, and this experience. It's not about how high you jump, guys, and I was perfect example, and how fast you are or how strong you are, but experience something going to help you, throughout your career. So he's in a perfect spot right now. He's seen it all. He observed it. He from DMPs to being a rotational player, and now he's one of we all heard what Steve had to embrace him and talk about him. How great he is for this team, and he's done a phenomenal job. So happy for him. I mean, from injuries and surgeries to now playing 82 games for multiple seasons. I love Looney.
I'm looking at this, and it's like, obviously getting Wiggins back, it feels like a trade because haven't had him for so long, and everybody's super excited to see what he's going to do. And you throw in him and GP2, it just feels like all the stuff that happened in the regular season, not that it's irrelevant, but we feel like a much different team right now. What does GP2, forget Wiggins for a second, what does GP2 mean to this team right now?
First of all, I'm glad you're asking this question, because when the trade happened, and we were talking about, I was hearing from social media or media, well, he's injured, when he's going to come back. Just the fact that energy, right? The memory, because the recent memory, last year he was part of the championship team, right? Yep. So just that, the presence of his presence in the locker room, his presence on the bench, the fact that we have GP2 in our roster and even sitting on our bench, just that, it means so much. Right, because the momentum thing, it's it's an energy thing, right? So he brought that any memory back to us. So now we got the championship squad back, right? Yep. Because we definitely, we missed him. We miss his presence.
Absolutely.
His personality. He's such a lovable guy too, and he became a fan favorite there was a reason, because he was doing all the dirty work, all the little things, and now we got not only GP2, but you're talking about Wiggins. So the perfect timing and. That momentum, I just love the momentum fact. Forget about everything else, but obviously they're going to deliver on the court once they're going to get in. We don't know how many minutes. Obviously, this is out of our hands and our control. But to have the two guys, you're going to rely on, defensive end, and defense winning championships. We've seen it for years and years, and it just makes me so happy and excited.
Festus Ezeli will love that. Mully and Fezzi always argue back and forth about offense and defense and whether or not defense wins championships. But look, you bring up GP2, pick it up 94 feet, full court. Now you have Andrew Wiggins back, and I'm looking at this bench with GP2, Jonathan Kuminga, who's going to get a chance here. Jordan Poole, who's had a dynamic season despite all the challenges he's had of starting, bench, different combinations. He averaged over 20 points a game. I mean, you just can't. And as a starter, we know he averaged nearly 25. And then you get Andrew Wiggins now in that starting lineup. Now the bench is deeper, but what Andrew Wiggins is going to provide here, we don't know how many minutes he's going to play Zaza. We don't know what type of shape he's in, but from all the reports from Steve Kerr, Bob Myers, they say he looks great in scrimmages. Now it connects everything. So now you get your starting five back, and now you got your bench. They're as deep as they've been all season long.
Steve Curry's happy because if you look at it historically, like with a lot of teams actually narrow down the rotation when you go to the playoffs. And Steve always loved, especially in the first two rounds at least, to play with more than 6-7 players. So at the finals, if you guys remember, like Patrick McCall at Game 5,
that's right.
I mean, he always loved to throw the guys and first of all keep the guys ready, motivated, in shape, right, and then throw the guys in certain situations where for an opponent team maybe it's unexpected and maybe surprised, but. He just loves to play with the whole squad. So he's happy. He's happy to have everyone healthy. And I gotta give shout out to Rick Scalabrine for. It wasn't the easiest season. Every season has its own challenges, man. And,
right.
Of course, coaches have to deal with certain things, and of course, the front office have to deal with certain things. But our performance staff has to deal with a lot of things. So I gotta give a shout out. Perfect timing for everyone to be healthy.
You heard what Steph Curry said. Steve Kerr is like 1A. He's the coach, but Rick Celebrini is 1B. Great story to the Athletic the other day. Rick Celebrini, the mystery man behind the Golden State Warriors and their health issues.
And it feels like we're talking to him all the time, too.
Yeah, we always talk about
it. It's how the sport is. Everybody's hurt all the time. And Bielitsa having a moment last year as you're referencing guys having their time and a place. How's Wiggins look? There's a lot of optimism yesterday, it felt like, coming out of that presser on Andrew Wiggins. How did he look to you?
He looked good. He looks great. I think Bob Myers nailed it. Like, there's a huge difference when you come off an injury, right? So that was not the case. And, his body feels good. That's what matters. And it's about building on it, right?
Yeah.
And so that's where
mentally he's right? Mentally
Absolutely.
he's right.
Yeah, he's smiling and, he's just happy to be back in the locker room because this is a family, guys. Like, I play for different teams, and no disrespect to any other teams, but since day one, I walked in the locker room and met with the oldest guys, and I'm not gonna bring their names, but it's a family situation here. So, and we've been keeping consistent. Obviously, it starts with the leadership. Obviously, it starts with the leaders of our organization because it's a true love, and you feel like since day one, it's a family atmosphere.
Zaza Pachulia here live in studio. By the way, we got a ticket giveaway, folks. You don't want to go anywhere. Game 3 against the Sacramento Kings next Thursday night at Chase Center. We're giving away a pair of tickets to the Warriors' first home playoff game of the year in moments. Each show will give out a keyword, and you will need to know all 3 keywords to win. So make sure you're listening all day long here on 95.7 The Game for your chance to win 2 tickets to game number 3 of this first-round series against the Sacramento Kings. You can hear the code word for our show in moments before Zaza leaves. We'll do that. Our ticket giveaway is brought to you by the Next Generation 10G Network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now, and remember, tickets are always available at Warriors.com, the only place to get tickets that are 100% guaranteed not to be fraudulent. Go to Warriors.com for that. Sacramento, De'Aaron Fox, quick, fast. They got a lot of wings. What about your old friend Harrison Barnes, our old friend down here with the Golden State Warriors, Harrison Barnes, playing with the Sacramento Kings there. He has that championship experience. Leandro Barbosa, of course. What do you think of that matchup, and what do you think is going on through the head of Harrison Barnes right now?
By the way, LB retired, right?
Yeah, LB. He doesn't act like it. He still thinks he can play.
I just want to make sure.
He wanted
the 2 guys together.
World.
Well, he wanted a 10-day contract a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Raymond, what was up with they should have gave him a 10-day contract.
He could have played.
Well, can you play right now? You got 5 minutes for us?
I got 5 minutes for you.
He's got a couple screens. You got a couple screens in.
But I won't be happy with just 5 minutes. I want
more. You'll make the 5 minutes count, though.
But no, that's why I mentioned about, obviously we've been talking about Mike Brown, but, they got LB, Barbosa there. They got Luke Laux, as an assistant coach, someone who spent, years with us. And HB obviously is there as well. So a lot of familiar faces, ex-Warriors people. So, of course, you're happy for their success, but at the same time, this is the moment. It's enough, guys.
Yeah. Right. Are you subscribed to Draymond's podcast?
I am.
Yeah?
He's had a couple good ones this
Yeah,
week.
it's pretty good.
What was it? The sign I saw yesterday? Most valuable podcaster.
Yeah, he's going for the most valuable podcast. He won Sports Podcast of the Year. I forget on what site, but he won Sports Podcast of the Year. And what about the bulletin board material? Now, of course, he said if you need bulletin board material at this point of the season, then something's wrong. But I'm sure Raymond and company were cringing when he said, "Hey, when we play, I think we're playing the Lakers in the second round." What did you think when he said that?
Well, I mean, when it comes to Draymond, you never know what's going to come out, right? So my mentality is always focused on, this round and the worry about the next round whenever it's time, So because, like I say, this is a team we play. You cannot take it for granted.
Yeah.
Because there's so many positives and you can trust yourself. Of course, you gotta have all kind of confidence that you can do this, you can make it happen, you can win in 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever it's gonna take. But you cannot take you cannot take for granted because there's a reason why this team finished on the top. Right? They are really well coached. They have young players, not too young. I think. With Sabonis and Fox and those HB, they have veteran leadership as well.
Red Velvet's good.
Right, they have exciting players and they're loaded too. I mean, it's not like they have 5, 6 players. They have more than 6 players, so they're going to come and contribute in the game. So you have to lock in and play every single game like you need it. You're going to win and worry about next round whenever.
Yeah, whenever you get there. Yeah, exactly. Klay Thompson, I'm wearing the jersey right now, and he gets on me because I was critical of Klay earlier this year, but he had a great year. I mean, an unbelievable year. Led the league in three-point makes. I feel like he's flying under the radar in this series. Like, he's a battle-tested, war daddy when it comes to playoff time. Do you think Klay's got something in store for this series?
You know what? And obviously you guys know my relationship with Klay, so one thing is like, I'm pretty sure he's grateful for your comments because he definitely I'm motivated. I mean, as an athlete,
Wow, I'm innocent, Zaza.
You always get motivated with those kind of thoughts, like prove them wrong, right?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure he's grateful for you.
Great.
Raven said some everything. Raven, it wasn't me. It wasn't me talking
he
reckless.
Had a great year. Like, honestly, given what happened the last couple of years, he exceeded my expectations, everyone's expectations. He should be so happy with how he played. And I really do feel like he's flying under the radar in this series.
Seems like he's never happy. He's never happy because he wants to keep it going. Like, one thing that worries me, like Klay, at some point, it's gonna be over, right? Like, the guy has mentality like it's never gonna be over. So I love it. And,
he's great.
Like I say, he's such a unique player, and like I played, 16 years, 6 different teams. So I've seen so many teammates, and everybody needs a ball in the hand and dribbling. And, like if they don't have a ball in the hand, they feel like, they cannot impact, the win and team, and they're not involved. But, this guy, like, we remember what it was, 60-point game?
60-point game, 11 dribbles, had the ball in his hands, 88 seconds?
37-point quarter.
37-point quarter, Game 6, Klay, OKC, Game 6 last year against Memphis.
Exactly.
Real quick, before we get you out of here, most hostile environment you ever played in? Because a lot of people are hyping up the Golden One Center. I guess they're going to have the Cowboys like Mississippi State did back in the day. I think Sacramento stole that. I'm kidding, Kings fans. But they're going to have the Cowbells. They haven't had a playoff game there in over 17 years. You think this would be the most hostile environment for Steph, Dre, and some of the core of this team?
I think so. Guys, it's 17 years, right? I mean, it's 17 years.
17 years.
It's a lot of time. I mean, it's like you haven't seen someone for 17 years and you're in the airport waiting, for him to show up. Well, what are you going to do? I'm going to get crazy, right? So I'm pretty sure fans, especially historically, I remember the previous arena in
Arco Arena.
Right, Arco Arena was loud. It was one of the loudest arena. So their fan base have the history, and they know what the success. I don't think they won the championship because, by the way, I used to love the team when I was playing in Europe when I was a teenager.
Peja Stojakovic,
Vlade, and Chris Webber, and all those guys. They had such an amazing team playing beautiful basketball and really well coached. Coach Adelman was the coach back then. But they have a history, so their fan base understand what it takes to support their team and be loud. So I don't know if those guys same fans going to show up, but is a key you learn from your parents, right? So probably the kid's going to come and deliver it, but they're excited. I'm pretty sure the whole city is excited.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Hey, now you see why I was in a baby white T-shirt, right? How hot are you right now, Zaza? No, pajamas. How hot is it right now, Zaza? You're sweating, huh? You're ready to get up. You can keep rubbing your hands. Raymond, like, it's hot in here, man. All right, we're going to give out a code word. Remember, you want to listen all day long to 95.7 The Game, and I'm sure you want to go to Game 3 against the Sacramento Kings in this first-round series. So we're going to give away a pair of tickets to the Warriors' first home playoff game. Here's your first chance to make that happen. The first of the 3 words you need to remember is golden, like gold-blooded, but add the E and the N. Golden, like Golden. That's golden, like San Francisco across that jersey right there. Golden is the first keyword. Remember this word and get the keywords from the other 2 shows, and then enter all 3 keywords on the contest page on our website, 957thegame.com. Our ticket giveaway is brought to you by the Next Generation 10G Network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now. And remember, tickets are always available at Warriors.com, the only place to get tickets that are 100% guaranteed not to be fraudulent. Zaza, Pachulia. That was quick, man. You want to hang around now? I know you got things to do.
One second. Who's better dressed on game day, Bonte or Raymond?
Oh, no, Raymond Ritter.
3-piece Raymond got the vest.
Absolutely. Raymond Ritter, not even close.
I think I first met Raymond at the All-Star game in New York City. You probably don't even remember this. I was a little intern, and old Jen Violet from back at the other station, it's like, hey, this guy named Raymond Ritter knows you're coming. I was like, who is he? I got one question each with Clay, Steph, and Kurt. Now, Raymond didn't have 3-piece suits back then.
Raymond, did you have any idea what you were doing?
He had a little hair. No, you didn't have any hair back then. No, a little bit. Maybe a tiny bit.
It's all right. I'm getting close to you soon, so I'm trying to hang on for dear life over here.
We all are. We're all got soft spots here. But Raymond, after the championships, oh, buddy, the 3-piece suits, the top hat, fedora. I got nothing on Raymond Ritter. Nothing.
By the way, not because he's here, though, but he's the best. Not one of the best. He's the best in the business, and I'm so grateful to work with this guy every single day, and he brings so much joy, and there's a reason. How long, Ray? More than what? 25 years.
Jeez.
Yeah. 25 years.
25 years. Has he ever told you about Xavier McDaniel? That's his man crush. It's like his childhood idol. No, Xavier McDaniel, he was listening one day. Xavier McDaniel came on the show and dropped a couple our roasters love him. Our audience loves him.
I'm scared.
It's just no filter.
I'm very scared of Xavier McDaniel.
Yeah, I want to hear about that.
Yeah, just Google Xavier McDaniel and see a lot. You'll see him just choking a lot of players out in the 80s and 90s.
I'm glad we didn't have a power in Georgia back then.
No. Thank you for coming in. I know it's early, and we appreciate it. We really do.
Anything for you guys.
I can't believe you got up early to come on this
don't
show.
Show up in be professional. Don't show up in the PJs. Please don't.
Oh, yeah, it's Blue and Gold Day in the Bay Area. Yeah, that's right. Somebody from City Hall, by the way, texted and said, hey, are you coming to City Hall to raise the Warriors flag? I said, no. They must have lost my invite in the mail. Yeah. Brandon Snyder, Festus Ezeli, right?
Nice.
Festus Ezeli and Brandon Snyder, the COO of the Golden State Warriors.
Nice. After all that yoga, you can do an injury report.
Yeah, I've been doing yoga.
With Festus.